Hello, everybody. It's Monday afternoon. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show. I'm Derek Stuckley here on KOXC, along with Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing okay.
All right. Well, we had our season opener against Wiley Friday night. Had some positives. Had a chance to pull the game out. Just came up a few plays short. Just your thoughts on the effort Friday night.
Number one, I thought I saw our kids mature. We had 4 guys on offense that hadn't played on Friday night. I had 8 that had not either been in a position on defense or had not played on Friday night. And you could see that the first quarter we made some mistakes that cost us a game, honestly. But I saw a lot of growth. I saw a group of kids that never thought about quitting, always thought they were in a ball game, always encouraging each other. And I thought they fought to the bitter end. We just made too many mistakes, for us to win that game. If you look at it, we snapped the ball over our punter's head. Jason Jackson's our snapper and does a phenomenal job. He's been snapping for us for 3 years. That's the first time that's happened. I thought Junior did a great job of being smart and kicking that thing out of the end zone. And then they set up a reverse the very next play off the ensuing kickoff and took it back for a touchdown. And then they scored right before the half when the clock ran out at the half. And then we tried to throw a screen, which was Coach Nard, great play call. They were blitzing off that edge, get that screen guy through there and just get the ball to their head and give them a chance to catch it. We're going to go for big yardage, but their guy made a good play, tipped the ball, fell right in his lap, and stepped in the end zone. There's a touchdown. So when you look at that, and then, of course, going in, the fumble on the 5-yard line was a big deal. And as you watch film and you're just evaluating what you're doing, I saw a lot of great things. I saw some things up front with our offensive line that I hadn't seen since I've been here. I mean, the ways they executed, and Abilene did a great job. Wiley did a great job of stunting and stemming and did some things like that confused us a little bit. But, Colin Anderson had 24 carries and 113 yards, which is, about 4.7 yards a carry. I mean, anytime we're getting 4.7 yards a touch, that's a good thing. The loss sort of covers up a lot of the positives. Jason Jackson had 4 catches for 73 yards at 18.25 yards a catch. Jordan Leach averaged 14.5 yards a catch. Thad Hines averaged 18.5 yards a catch. I mean, so we're spreading the ball around and we're making, some good plays. But like I said, we just sort of got in our own way. But what I did see is a lot of growth. I mean, the secondary especially, a lot of those guys were brand new for Friday night, but they matured over the second half. And, if they're 300, we outgained them yardage-wise, 375 to 349, and of their 349 yards, 57 of those were the second half. So the majority of their offense came the first half, and I thought our defense rose up and gave our offense many opportunities to be successful, and we just didn't get it done. So we take ownership in that. But the thing about it is we felt like we lost that game. We didn't feel like Abilene beat us. We felt like we lost that game as a whole, the coaching staff and team as well. And our kids were texting coaches over the weekend, Coach, we just need to work harder. We need to fix us. And what I tell our kids all the time, we don't need to worry about the opponent. We need to worry about us. And if we secure a couple of things and still have that confidence and have a great week at work, I think we can have an opportunity to be successful against Marble Falls. They're a slot T team. They do a lot of what Liberty Hill does. Their coordinator, I think, is from Liberty Hill, and they're very good at it. Defensively, I think they do some good things, but I think that's probably their weakness is their defense. So we're working on ways to exploit that, and I feel real confident we're going out and play well. But we just need to secure secure the football. Don't turn it over on special teams, and don't turn the ball over. Period. But like I said, I know we want to cover up the fact, all the positives with a loss. We lost. Well, we did, and we don't like that. But there's a lot of things you can gain from a loss, a lot of areas that you can learn, and a lot of ways to test your mettle. So I take ownership in that myself. We're going to make sure that we're practicing in a way that is conducive for our kids to be successful, and make sure that our drills and everything are working towards the things that we feel we need to work on. And our kids are going to be fine. They're a good football team. Before it's all said and done and we hang our hat up for the season, we're going to have a great run. I've said it from the get-go. We have an extremely tough preseason, and I do that for a reason. You got to play good teams, and you got to get to playing at that level consistently if you want to be successful down the line. So there's really not a hiccup in our preseason schedule. We just got to keep growing and get better as a unit. Make sure tackles, don't miss a bunch of tackles. Don't turn the ball over. Score when you have opportunities to score. Execute down the red zone. Don't get penalties that put you behind the chains. And, where there was a drive there, we got a penalty that I didn't think was a penalty. It was away from the play. But yet we're on the 2-yard line now. We're backed up to the 15 or whatever. Wind up having to try to kick a field goal on that drive. So I think most of the things that happened to us were self-inflicted, and those are things that we can fix. Thank goodness, because if it was just line up and we just got taken over by a team that really put it to us last year, then that would be a different story. But we feel very positive about our outlook and what we're trying to do, and our kids came in today and responded well, and we're going to play a hard-nosed, tough football team next Friday, and we got to get prepared the next, we got 2 more full days and a hay in the barn day to get that done.
Right. I think you said after the game, the main thing was the mistakes are all correctable.
Yes, they are, and that's the plus, and I try to relay that to our kids. Their hearts are heavy a little bit because they know that we felt like we gave that game away. We felt like we gave the game to them. And we can fix that. And our kids believe that. That just shows the maturity in our kids. They're no panic. They're just, let's get right and let's go fix ourselves and not do it the next game and get on top of the scoreboard at the end. So I really look forward to seeing the way they respond, like the way they responded in the second half. So, I thought did a good job in spots, and there's times where he's still working on himself. You got to remember, he is a talented young man. He's got great attributes, and he's got great skills, but he's still got to get comfortable playing at that level on Friday nights under a stage like that. I mean, I commend our community for packing the stands like they did, but with that, for a kid that's never played in that environment and never run through that tunnel, it's different. And once they get acclimated and used to that, Ike's going to settle in there, and he's going to do a great job. Our line's going to mesh even more together. They're going to do a good job. Our receivers are running good routes. We're catching the ball. So I just think that we have the potential of putting up 40 points, and when we get going well, we will. And our defense, like I said, they matured a ton in the second half. We started making better tackles and just getting used to it and getting the feel of the game, and they started responding. So, like I said, we could take our lumps early, but our ultimate goal is to be ready for when district gets here and then make a long run in the playoffs. A downside to what we're talking about, Dryden Anderson's a kid who was elected captain by his teammates. He's worked extremely hard in the offseason. He's a leader in the weight room. He's a leader out there when we're doing our conditioning stuff. Just all in all, a great leader. Practices hard. But I fear that, we've lost him for the season with the ACL. I hope to find something out by tomorrow. He's went to the doctor today to get that checked out. But, 90% of most ACLs are done with no contact. And if you watch him on that play, he's going 100 miles an hour. When he steps to plant, his knee gives away. I told our kids before the game, play like it's your last play. And if it does work out that Dryden has an ACL injury and he won't be able to play the rest of the year, I feel confident in him that he knows that he gave it everything he had on that last play. He was going like crazy, and it hurts my heart, because injuries happen and the Lord has a plan. I know he does, and I try to express that to Dryden, and let's look forward to the positive. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We can only grow from it and move on and try to figure out why and know that there's something else out there, So our prayer is that it's not an ACL, and that there's something that we can do to get him back at some point, because he's worked so hard. He's still a captain on our football team. He's still a leader, and I know he'll continue to play that role, but it was tough on us when we lost him early in the first quarter.
With Dryden out, just kind of talk about filling his role on the defense.
Well, we put Hayden Dean in, who came in and played a really rough start, in the first half. But like I said, when he got used to it and more comfortable the second half, he made a lot more plays. Jake Jaton was playing there as well. We have other guys we're looking at and trying to fill that spot, and it's just one of those things you're going to put 2 or 3 guys out there, and whoever performs the best that week is the guy that's going to get the nod until we feel real secure with that spot. I thought Marcelo Hooker played a great game. I think he had 4 pass breakups and interception, almost had a couple of more. He had played a little bit for us last year at the varsity level, a couple of games, but, man, I thought he really did a good job on his side. Chance Jones moving to outside linebacker. He hadn't played that. Did a great job. Sam Coleman in the middle did a good job. I thought our D-line did a good job. Like I said, it was just the mistakes and I'll take offensively, I think those mistakes happened from the fumble on the 5 and the safety, and then, of course, the screen. So we put our defense in a bind, and our defense responded. We could have easily come out at halftime and folded up tent and let them beat us like they did last year, but our kids chose to be different. They had faith, and they fought, and that's what you ask of kids. I mean, not every Friday you're going to win on the scoreboard, but I thought our kids won in life in the fact that they never gave up on themselves and they never gave up on their teammates, and they always believed they had a chance, and they did until the end. So I couldn't be more pleased with the way they responded. Now, let's go ingest what happened. and internally and fix what we did so that won't happen again. So that's our goal and our focus. And like I said, we play a Marble Falls team that's going to be really good offensively. They're going to keep the ball a long time and minimize your touches on offense. So we got to maximize our opportunities when we have the ball, and just go out there with confidence and play a game and grow through it. And hopefully we come up with a win and just keep marching on through our preseason to get prepared for that opening game in district against Big Spring.
Right. So the varsity comes up a little short Friday, but 3 big wins for the sub-varsity teams Thursday.
Yeah, extremely pleased, man. I was so excited on Thursday for the news. Our sophomore team won 12-8. Great for them. That's a group of guys that normally that maybe not have developed or they haven't matured yet, but we plan on them getting there. That's why we try to get as many games as we can for our kids. The only way you get successful is to play those games and to get better. And they went over to Abilene and played well and fought through and got them a win. So that was huge. And our sophomore teams just continue to roll. They won 40-12. And then our JV, which I'm extremely proud of because they were down 2 scores, and they have a kid playing quarterback that would start on their varsity right now, but he moved over from Abilene Cooper, and he's not eligible to play this year as a varsity player. But, man, he can really throw the ball. He's a big kid. They have a big running back that played in the varsity scrimmage with them. So we went down 2 scores, and you could have hung your hat right there. But those little JV guys are fighters, and they came back and won that game 28-19. So, man, pleased with what's going on. We didn't get the result that we had on Friday night. Boy, it would have been nice to sweep them, 4 in a row. It just didn't happen. It is what it is. You can't look back. You just got to learn from the past and move forward and keep pressing on. And our kids are doing that. They're high character. They're hard work. I couldn't be any more prouder of those young men because they're choosing to be different. And I still am. I'm extremely excited about the future. And the future is district, and the future is the playoffs, and that's what these next 5 games are going to test our mettle and help mold us to the team that we want to be so that when we get in the district, we make a run, be successful, go to the playoffs and make a big run, and who knows what the Lord has in store for you at that time. But right now it's let's grind and play those top opponents that I feel. I mean, you still go down the line. You look, I think everybody in our preseason won. Marble Falls beat Conley team 50-something to 7, 52, 57-7, something like that. Burnett won. Glen Rose won. Stephenville beat Midlothian Heritage, and Waco Conley won their game. And they're all worthy opponents, and it's going to be battle tested every week. But that's what's going to get us prepared for district. So I'm excited about it.
So what other sports we have going on over the weekend?
We had volleyball went to the Peaster tournament. They did have a bunch of success. They're sort of where we have been and where we are right now with some younger kids that are learning to play at that level. They got a couple of sophomores playing, and they got 3 seniors that play. And talking to Coach, she was disappointed, but and I understand that everybody wants to win, and so do our kids. There's not anybody that wants to win more than our kids. And they're just inconsistent right now with their youth. I watched them play when they were at home last Tuesday, and I think it was Tuesday, and man, they were down two games and came back and went to the 5th set and almost had a chance to win that one. So they're taking those growing pains right now, and they're learning from them, moving on. And the goal for them as well is to use every opportunity you can to be prepared for what they're going to have as an extremely tough district. Let's see, tennis went to Iowa Park and they dropped their matches 14-5. Again, a lot of turnover for the tennis program, boys and girls side both. They still got a couple of kids that are leading it. Peter Lee's a kid that's been to the regional final, went to the regional tennis tournament a couple of times, and he's sort of the leader right now. And they got some youth that is still working through what they're trying to do. But Coach Blasek and Coach Hudson do a great job with them, and we'll keep fighting the fight and see if we can't do something in spring tennis.
Okay. What do we have coming up action-wise this week?
Okay, volleyball will be at home against Clyde. Their sub-varsity games will both be at 5 o'clock in alternate gyms and 6 o'clock with the varsity. We have cross-country meet at Brownwood on Wednesday. We are hosting our invitational, so excited to get to see those kids run. Like I said before, Luke Gray finished 19th to 200 for the boys. Sydney Wyndham is a rock for us, finished 9th. In their first meet, they're going to have gone to a meet, be settled in. Got sort of some of those jitters out, so I look to see great things from them, and we're running at home, so that's a big deal. And of course, we got sub-varsity games here this Thursday at 5 o'clock and 6:30 with the freshman maroon team and the JV, and our sophomore team will go to Comanche and play over there at 5 o'clock. One thing I do want to note is if you're going to go to the Comanche game to watch our combined team play, only online online ticket sales, and you'll go to brownwoodisd.org and go to the athletic page, and you'll find the information there to get those tickets online. We don't have that information yet. They hadn't shared it with us. I'm still trying to get information from Marble Falls. We've been working on that all day, trying to figure out, are we going to be able to buy tickets there, or we're going to pre-sale, or if it's online. So as soon as I get that information, definitely by Wednesday, I'll have that out for everybody to have. And then, of course, we have football in Marble Falls on Friday, and then our volleyball team will go to Ballinger.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a busy week. Of course, this time of year, it's always busy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about NASCAR over the
Well,
weekend?
I love Daytona. It's a big
Mm-hmm.
deal, and it's a big race for everybody, and it sort of got a little boring, but they had some wrecks and pileups. A lot of gunners were out, and they're worried about the rain and getting the race in before the rain, and had a big old wreck, and Austin Dillon slid through about 15 people somehow and didn't get touched and wound up leading. About 21 laps remaining, and they went through the weather first. They usually wait a couple of hours, and then they wound up postponing that or suspending that thing. So Austin Dillon won him another Daytona 500, or Daytona, what it was, 400.
All right. Star, you got any thoughts on that?
Did they finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He still won.
I was working. I did not know that. I thought it was due to suspension, and I didn't record
they
it.
actually got back to racing, and he did win.
Wow.
But, and your guy came in 10th.
Yes, he did.
Mine's engine blew up.
I saw that, but I thought it was just postponed. Sorry for the false information, but I was working yesterday evening, so I didn't get to see the end of it. Had to look on my app. But, I also watched the PGA Championship, and Texas' own Scotty Scheffler was up, I think, 7 strokes.
We don't need to mention that. 7
strokes, and he wound up losing. He was +2 for the day. I really felt for him. Rory McIlroy won it, but man, I felt sorry for Scheffler. And he got second or tied for second, so he made like $6.5 million.
He's made $50 million or something this year.
Well, he's fine, but Rory made $18 million.
Yeah, in one tournament.
Big jump from first place to second, but man, I'd like to, work for a weekend and make $18 million. If you work this weekend, and we're gonna give you $18 million. Okay.
Is that coming from you? Do I have your word on that?
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, I don't really worry about their pocketbooks. I don't worry about it. Interesting about Scheffler is he still drives a 1994 pickup that his dad gave him.
Yeah.
That money's
Save that money.
Yeah, he's got his priorities in line. That's for sure.
There you go. All right. Anything else you want to mention today, Coach?
Yeah, let's thank those that make this show possible. Auto Glass Magic, Burner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bon Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Henrik Medical, Howie Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Heartland Funeral Home, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter Johnson Associates, Smith & Sharp Agency, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right. This has been your Brownwood Lions Coaches Show. We'll be back Wednesday to talk a little more about Marble Falls here on KOXE, KOXE.com, the KOXE app, and the KOXE Facebook pages.
Have a great day, Brownwood.